Well, it is a pleasure to be here this evening. I'm Margaret Ioannides, the Assistant Dean for the Online LLM program. I'm a licensed attorney myself and have been working with online LLM programs for the past 15 years. Since 2019, I've been working with the University of Dayton and built the online LLM program, which will be the focus of my presentation this evening. We'll also discuss the online learning format, and I've included some screenshots so you can get a better idea of the learning management system. After I finish my presentation, I will upload the slide deck into the chat, so please don't worry about taking notes. You'll be able to have the full slide deck. At the end of my presentation, if you think you might be interested in applying to the program or learning more, we'll include more information about the application process. And once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thanks to everyone for being here this evening to learn more about the program. Before we get started, I wanted to just provide a little bit of context about what is an LLM degree. An LLM degree is a Master of Laws degree, so this is considered a postgraduate law degree requiring a first degree in law for students who are interested in pursuing this. Because students already have their first law degree, the course of study for an LLM program is not as much as it would be for a JD degree, a Juris Doctor or first degree in law. So the program can be completed in approximately 1 year of full-time study. For our program, students have a very flexible format and can study part-time and take up to 4 years to complete the program. LLM degrees are also in a specialized field of study, and our online LLM is oriented to U.S. law and American law with alignment to the bar exam and U.S. legal practice. So a little bit more information here. We have just under 200 students in the program right now. Our current students and graduates represent over 55 countries. We have students from all over the world, as you can see, and many from Korea. If you have your LLB degree or your JD degree, you would meet the educational eligibility requirements for our LLM program. There is an asterisk next to the LLB degree on this slide. The reason for that is because if you hold an LLB degree, your bar options will be more limited than if you hold a JD degree. With the LLB, typically, if that converts to approximately 83 credits or more, the pathway is to the DC bar. So I think more information will be shared on that later in today's presentation. A law license is not required for the LLM program, but English proficiency is required, and we'll discuss that in a little bit more detail. Our curriculum consists of 12 courses. They're oriented to U.S. law and legal practice. They're also the subjects that are tested on the bar exam. The program is offered in a 100% online asynchronous format, and we offer the courses year-round on a traditional semester basis, starting in January, in May, and in August. And as I've noted, students have up to 4 years to complete the degree. It can be completed in as little as 1 year. Now, for any students who have a JD degree and are thinking of the California bar, study would need to be completed within 3 years. So that's why there is that asterisk on the final bullet. So here is a copy of, or here's a slide that includes all of the courses in our curriculum. As some of you might be considering the non-degree Korea program that we offer, I've taken the liberty of including those 26 credits and subjects on the left-hand side. You're able to see how that compares to the online LLM curriculum. Our courses tend to be smaller in terms of the number of credits per subject, with the exception of contracts and civil procedure. Those are the same as for the non-degree program. We also have 3 courses in the online LLM curriculum that are not in the non-degree program, and those are Introduction to U.S. Law, Legal Analysis, and Professional Responsibility. If you'd like to learn more about the course schedule and the courses, I've included the link here. So there are 2 pathways for the online LLM program. One is through completion of the Korea program. The other is a direct path applying directly to us. For those of you who are considering the non-degree 26 credit program, if you earn a cumulative grade point average of a 2.7, that's roughly a B- or higher, then you are eligible to apply and on an accelerated track to the online LLM program. This is accelerated because you do not have to provide any additional proof of English proficiency. The high performance in the Korea program demonstrates that level of English proficiency. Additionally, there is a fast track where you are able to earn the LLM degree with only 2 additional courses. That's the Introduction to U.S. Law course and the Legal Analysis course. Of course, if you would like to take professional responsibility, you're welcome to do that as well, but it is not required in terms of the degree conferral. The other path is to complete is to apply directly to us and complete all 30 credits with us. In that case, you would follow the standard application process. More information about that is available on our website. Additionally, as ILDANSA recruited students, you would be eligible for the maximum scholarship of 35% off the published tuition rate. So again, here's just some more information about the online LLM program, as well as the link to our website where you can learn more. The pathway, by completing this program, students are then eligible for California, Washington, and the DC bars, assuming you meet the individual bar eligibility requirements as well. As I mentioned, if you have completed your LLB degree only, then the bar options are more limited and most likely to the DC bar. Professor Tommy can share more information about this, but as a highlight, we do have a mini bar prep course included free of charge for our graduates. And so as students complete the program, there is a separate mini bar prep that course that you can take. And this is meant to supplement the commercial bar preparation that you are taking. Additionally, students in the program have access to a lot of online resources. So in addition to Lexis and Westlaw and Bloomberg Law for legal research, you also have access to supplemental study guides that can help you as you go through the courses and in the future as you plan for the bar exam. We also offer a lot of support to our students in the form of not only an academic support professor who is available to students in all courses, there's also a peer advisor. I mentioned the bar prep, and then also your professors and the administrative team are available to you as well. For those of you interested in pursuing the LLM to expand career opportunities, we also have one-on-one career counseling available. So with that, I'd like to turn over and share a little bit about our online learning management system. Should you decide to join the program, and if you're admitted, you would access your online LLM courses through the University of Dayton website. You're assigned a username and a password and a University of Dayton email. And with that, you log into our online learning management system, which is Canvas. This is a very commonly used learning management system in the US. Once you enter Canvas, you are able to access your dashboard of courses. So here you're able to see the Law 4000 course, which is Introduction to U.S. Law. That would be available when the semester begins. Within a week or two of the semester starting, you would also see an online law library and student hub site that's added to your dashboard. In that is where you would have access to the legal research databases, Lexis, Westlaw, and Bloomberg Law, as well as free supplemental study resources. Those include extra study guides, extra multiple choice questions with answers, extra essays with answers, and it's just meant to be an additional resource that you can use. Midway through the semester, you will be added as well to the online LLM exam hub. That's where you take the exams for all of your courses with the exception of the legal writing course. So as you can see, everything is contained within our online learning management system. Once you enter the course, so going back, if you were to click on the Law 4000 icon, you would enter the course and you would see this homepage. We love how this is set up because most of our students are working professionals, and it is really important for them to know what the expectations are and what the key deadlines are. So when you access the course, you are able to see exactly what the key dates are. Each unit runs approximately 3 weeks and consists of 3 to 4 modules. What does that mean? That means the optimal studying for this course would be approximately 1 module per week, completing the unit within 3 weeks. At the end of each unit, there is a graded quiz, but leading up to that graded quiz, there are practice assignments that are completed. Everything in the unit must be completed by the unit deadline. So for students this fall, their key deadlines were September 14th, October 5th, November 2nd, and November 23rd. That is the point when they needed to complete everything in each unit. We also have a midterm and a final exam in the courses. I'll share more about that in upcoming slides, but you can see from the very first day the course opens, you know exactly when the midterm period is and when the final exam period is. These are open exam periods, so students are able to take the exams on the day and time that works best for them. Now, you'll see at Unit 1, there is a Start Here module, and so I wanted to share a little bit more about that. Many students coming into the program, especially as graduates of Korea Cyber University, you're familiar with online education, but not all students are. And so we do think it's very important to provide those students with resources before the course even opens. So you are, or before the rest of the course even opens. So the Start Here module in each course is accessible usually the Thursday to Friday before the semester begins, and the semester usually begins on a Monday. This gives students a chance to review the course syllabus, to review how the course works, and to make sure that they have the appropriate technology requirements, whether it's the laptop, computer, webcam, to be able to be successful in the program. We also have general tips for success in the online LLM program, and we do have some of the mandatory requirements from the university regarding training, as well as information about a live orientation that we host for students. The live orientation typically happens the very first week of the semester, but we give students notice of that when the course opens and the Start Here module opens. That way you can plan accordingly. Anything that is completed live in the course, such as this orientation, is recorded and is available for students to review later. So live attendance is not required for anything in the course. After you complete the Start Here module and the semester officially begins on the Monday, you are able to then access the Unit 1, Module 1, which is the first module in the course. This gives you an idea of what is covered in each module. So the format is the same, not only for this course that you're seeing here for the Introduction to U.S. Law course. This is the same layout that you can expect in the other courses and in the other modules. There's a short introduction at the start of each module. Additionally, any reading materials that you need to review for that module are included within the module. Then you have lectures that are interactive, and I'll have more screenshots of those coming up. And after the lecture is completed, there is typically a discussion, an essay, or some type of an assignment that is completed to make sure that you have understood the concepts that are covered. So starting with the reading and resources, as you can see, everything is included at the beginning of the module. That little arrow means that you're able to download all of these as well. So a lot of times our students like to download these resources and save them. They're helpful not only for the course, but later on potentially for study for the bar exam. You also, once you've downloaded these, you can print them out. So many students will take notes on these slides as well, or if you use a tablet, you're able to take notes on them as well as you go through the lectures. Once you complete the reading assignments, then you are able to move on to the interactive lectures. As you can see here, all of the lectures are recorded with the course developer, so you are able to really kind of establish that connection with the course developer as you go through the course. There are also settings that are built in that are very helpful for students navigating the course. So for instance, you can adjust the playback speed to go slower or faster. You can pause the recording if needed. There's closed captioning and there's a searchable transcript as well. So that makes this a very accessible course, and it reduces any type of language barriers. Additionally, and I know the font is fairly small, but if you can see, this lecture is 11 minutes and 14 seconds. That's fairly typical. Most of the lectures are 20 minutes or less, with a target of most being between 10 and 15 minutes. So we'd like to think that they're short and sweet, they're covering specific topics, and then to make sure that students have understood what was covered, there is a knowledge check at the end of each lecture. And so these are interactive questions that you complete, and the system will tell you, did you get it right or wrong? If you got it wrong, you get an additional attempt, and then whether you got it right or wrong, there is an explanation that is recorded. So this is the first knowledge check as you complete the content. There's a second knowledge check coming up and a third one, but we'll get to those later. I just wanted to share a little bit more in terms of the closed captioning. Again, you can see that every lecture has closed captioning, and there is this searchable, downloadable, scrolling transcript. So let's say you covered something, or let's say you want to go back to a specific part of the lecture. You don't have to memorize where that was. All you have to do is search the transcript, and it will take you back to that section in the lecture. This lecture, the transcript is also downloadable. So although the interactive lectures are not downloadable, the transcript is downloadable, and the PowerPoint slide decks are downloadable as well. The second knowledge check happens when students finish the lectures, and usually there's an assignment or a discussion or some type of an activity. This is an example of the assignment. As you can see, these are not counted towards the final grade. They are based on good faith effort and submission by the deadline. So they are required. You do need to complete these. They do need to be your own work product, but they are not graded. Once you submit that assignment, you get immediate feedback in the form of a written model answer and a recorded video from the course developer. If you want additional feedback, you can also email your professor and request individual feedback on your submission or a one-on-one meeting. You also can email our academic support professor, and she can work with you and provide feedback on your submission. So here you go. Once again, the layout for the unit and for the modules. Every part of the module is locked, and in order to unlock it, you have to complete, the section before that. So in order, in this case, to get to the quick check, red flag, or routine assignment, students had to complete the lecture before getting to that. And then in order to move on to the Module 3 section, students would have to complete everything in Module 2. The activities and the assignments progress linearly, and they are meant to optimize the student experience and learning experience. At the end of each unit, there is a wrap-up section. And so this is really important because, once again, we want to make sure that you have fully understood the concepts that were covered in that unit and in each of the modules. So that there is not only a pre-recorded cumulative review by the course developer, there is also a live session with your professor. So that is an opportunity where you can meet with your professor and your classmates. You can ask questions, you can interact with them, and if you feel that there are any gaps on your learning, there is that opportunity for that live interaction. In order to give our professors additional insights, we even have a discussion section called Questions Before the Live Session, where you are able to include any questions that you have based on what you've covered in the unit and anything that you would specifically like addressed in that live session. Your professors will either answer that in that discussion or in the live session. So Professor Sangchampupin can share more about that as well when he discusses how he teaches the criminal law and procedure course in the program. Once you've completed all of this, there is then a quiz at the end of the unit. That quiz is the first graded assessment that you have. So as you complete the quiz, you have 2 attempts to complete the quiz, and it's worth, each quiz is worth 25 points. The 4 end of unit quizzes together make up 100 points in the program. So again, you have assignments throughout each unit. Those are meant for you to practice and to learn the concepts. At the end of each unit, you complete a 25-point quiz. You have 2 attempts to complete that, and the higher of the 2 scores will count. Together, those quizzes make up 25% of your final grade. The rest of your grade comes from a midterm exam and a final exam. And again, this is for all courses except the legal writing course. The legal writing course does have the quizzes and a midterm exam, but there are also other graded assessments in that course, including a final written assignment. But for your other courses, again, 100 points from the quizzes, 100 points from the midterm, 200 points from the final exam. The midterms and final exams, as I mentioned earlier, are administered online through Canvas. They are proctored online, and they consist of multiple choice questions and essays. So I've just included a little bit more information here. So I do have limited time. If you would like to learn more about the program, I encourage you to visit our website. For those of you considering bar admission or what career opportunities might open up as you complete the LLM, we have a lot of articles about that. And if you'd like more information about the program policies, and expectations, I'd encourage you to visit our frequently asked questions. If you are interested in applying, our application deadline for the January 12th semester start is December 1st, which is just around the corner. You can email us for more information at onlinellmapplication@udayton.edu. We have step-by-step instructions on our website, and we do encourage, should you decide to apply following today's webinar, the application will ask, how did you hear about our program? If you can please list ILDANSA there, we would very much appreciate that. And again, if you're interested in starting in the spring, these are the courses that will be available. Students completing the full 30 credits will be eligible for that 35% scholarship. That reduces the tuition rate to approximately $900 per credit. If you decide to pursue the non-degree program and then take just the 4 credits with us, Introduction to U.S. Law and Legal Analysis, then the tuition would be the published rate of $1,380 per credit. Tuition is reviewed each summer, so we do anticipate, if it matches historic increases, about a 2 to 4% increase in that tuition rate starting each May. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for taking the time to participate this evening, and I've included my email here and that for the online program. And I encourage you, if you haven't yet, please visit our LinkedIn page and follow us. We like to include a lot of information there that you might find helpful.